And welcome, race fans, to another episode here at CRN. Tonight we'll be with the Casual Sim Racing League GT Series. They are at Indianapolis at the road course. It's 2.39 miles here at Indiana, and it's clear outside. Nice, cool temperature, and I'm sure the track temp won't be too bad as well. But going to be an interesting one here. We were here at last season for their 2-hour finale, so some drivers might be pretty familiar with what's going on. But before I get started here, to bring in my co-host, and no, it's not Carl Hanwork. Carl Hanwork is out for the evening, so we're going to bring in Jack Peterson here tonight, one of our fellow broadcasters here at CRN, does some broadcasting over there for Core Racing, the GT series. So welcome to the booth, Jack. How are you tonight?
I'm doing quite well tonight, Jimmy. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I've been broadcasting a little bit on the Core Racing Network for a little bit, just doing some various series. Right now I've been doing the Core GT for a little bit and really enjoying it. So thanks for having me out tonight as your, so we call it B team, or your second string for broadcasters tonight, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's definitely always been an interesting one here at with CSRL. You know, we've been with them for quite some time now, and they've been putting up some pretty good numbers and have some great races. And speaking of races, we can talk about the point standing. Obviously, they are broken down, sort of, kind of like Core Racing League is as well. But right now, for the Platinum Division, your top drivers right now is Craig Jancic, only by 3 points over Noah Bourgeois, and then Bryce Reiner there right below him with 277 points, and then Mason Smith in fourth with 261. Chris Hamilton with 260. So pretty tight here, and we have plenty of racing still remaining here this season. The gold is just as close as Herbert Pineda is out front with 337 points, and being followed closely by Kyle Cobbler with 334 points. And Cesar Colon Torres with 277, Christian Ortiz Torres with 267, and then Jim Dutton with 252, tied with Stephen McLean. So you got a few drivers, so 6 drivers all within pretty good close shots here of doing well this season. Then back to the silver division, Trent Blaylock leading the way over there with 336 points. Al Bellew with 300 points, and John Espada with 278. Todd Terville has 244 in fourth, and William Burrell with 236 in fifth. And then we have our newcomers, our rookies here for the series. Not put in divisions that I'm aware of yet, but David Walsh with 164 points, Simon Seguin with 146, Ken Huber with 132, Brian Bailey with 110, and Michael Ray Gallant with 90 for your top 5 for your rookies this year. Obviously, close competition throughout the field here tonight, and they're going to try to get the best finishes all. We do have the standings, kind of what the qualifying is looking like right now. I still got about 5 minutes remaining, but Noah Bourgeois up on top currently with a 124.5. During practice, was able to see somebody turn a 124.0, so the speed's still out there for some of those people. Kyle Cobbler there in second, Tyler Torville, and then Craig Jancic, Herb Pineda, Mason Smith, Bryce Reiner, Chris Hamilton, Sierra back there, Javi Sierra back there in ninth, and then Jason Phillips for your 10 currently. So things could change here in the next 4 minutes, but go ahead and mute iRacing here just a little bit, and we're going to show last week's moment of the week here that they would like us to share with everybody. Got to pull something up real quick. Where is it at? You know, I had it right at out of a button, but now, of course, there it is. So this one here is this moment here is going to be between Noah Bourgeois and Tyler Torville as they engage in a heated battle side by side for about a half a lap. that Jason Phillips will go ahead and take serious advantage of for 2-for-1 passing them into turn number 1. So we'll go ahead and play that for you real quick here so you can see that on the screen. That there was the moment of the race there as they quickly was able to make a pass there under green, and it's a pretty tough track. They were at Barcelona last week, so obviously a pretty difficult track there as you come down that long straightaway down into turn number 1 and able to take advantage of a few other league mates battling for the lead. Jack, this here's a track here. Do you have much time at Indianapolis yourself?
I have some experience here. I wouldn't say it's a crazy amount. I've been doing a lot of the special events, so the Indy 6 Hour. That one was exciting to say the least. We did GTPs here, and I've always noticed that the car just feels like it's on a smoother surface than most other tracks. Feels like there's a little less grip. The corners are really flat here. I have some friends that do some racing in real life here at Indy on some teams, and they have a lot of experience just kind of dealing with the different conditions that these drivers have to face tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how their skills can compare. I know the track is supposed to be a little bit warmer today, sitting at about 95 degrees, so nothing crazy, but I'm thinking we might see some fireworks here at some point in this race.
So, since you got some experience out here, because I know you like to road race yourself a little bit, what's the biggest challenge of Indy for a road guy?
It kind of depends on the racing that you're doing. If you're doing the multi-class, I would say the biggest challenge is making sure that you're taking the right line, passing or letting faster cars go by you. I know the final corner, especially at Indy, can be a big challenge because it's a long sweeping corner and every car is pretty much on its limit as far as grip. So when you're trying to manage the traffic, it gets a little exciting. I would say when you're sticking to in-class, I would say the chicane, the first chicane going onto the backstretch, that one's exciting, and then you're going to see a lot of single file going into little S's after that backstretch. But from there, there's some pretty good passing opportunities into turn 1. I would say into the second to last corner, or maybe even the third to last corner is another good passing opportunity. So, there's always some opportunities here at Indy. It's going to be exciting. The draft here is pretty good along the front stretch. So, I'm excited to see what these drivers can do.
Yeah, it should be a good one here tonight as they're finishing up qualifying here right now. You see the checkered flag flying there on the screen, but they have open qualifying. So as long as they make it past the start-finish line before that checker flag comes out, they can go ahead and get one more lap in. And there's a few more cars out there right now, as you can see on the track map. I got looks like I know the 64 is out there. Christopher Hamilton, Frank Pisano out there as well, along with the 21, I believe it is.
Looks like those first 2 cars pulled off, so they are all done with their laps. So I think that's it.
Yeah, we should be getting the results here shortly and be able to share that with everybody. I'll go ahead and clear everything off the screen so when that pops up, we can get to it. But yeah, this pretty iconic track. When you think of Indy, most times you think about running around the very outsides of it. In like an Indy car. I know NASCAR comes here as well, and it's a unique track in itself. As I know they call it an oval, but it's almost like a square.
Yeah, it's definitely that rectangle shape. I noticed it requires a little bit of some different skills managing those corners. Now, you being that oval guy, is this more of a, you just stay as low as you can and then go from there? Or do you try and find some different lanes depending on track temperature?
Really depends on the track temperature and what part of the track that they're at as you try to manage those corners doing the oval. But getting down into the nitty-gritty here tonight and the qualifying results for the GT cars here for CSRL. Noah Bourgeois is going to go ahead and take that pole with a 124.3. Craig Jancic will start on the front row. So your points of leaders 1 and 2 for your Platinum division battling out here going to be early on, and he's going to be in second. Bryce Reiner's in third with Kyle Cobbler there in P number 4. Mason Smith is currently sitting in 5th. Tyler Torville in 6th, Herb Pineda in 7th, Frank Pisano in 8th, Christopher Hamilton in 9th, and then Jason Phillips for your top 10. Move farther back in the field here. We'll go, come on, move please. SDK being SDK. Javi Sierra back there in 11th, Braxton Jarrett in 12th, Dave Tilford will start in 13th. Simone Seguin will be in 14th. Alien Bailu in 15th. Stephen McLean in 16th. Trent Blaylock in 17th. Caesar Cologne back in 18th. Jesse Mosley back there in 19th. Then back to the rest of the field, you have Christian Torres in 20th. Jim Dutton in 21st. Alex Zart in 22nd. Glenn Lazon in 23rd. William Burrell in 24th. Todd Terville in 25th, Brandon Potts in 26th, Paul Bailey's in 27th, John Espada in 28th, Zane Bierman in 29th, Ian Wilson in 30th, and Michael Ray Gallen back there in 31st. Back in 32nd, Jay Little, Ethan McCracken in 33rd, and Rana Dilemma back there in 34th. So not putting in a time tonight. They do have, me and Carl call it the sandbagger of the race, but the biggest mover of the race. I went to talk to somebody. Somebody maybe they just crashed or just had a bad qualifying run there. But we're going to go ahead and go down to the track here as they are working their way around the field here. Let me empty this out. Go down over here to Noah. Change cameras. I'm using Carl's camera choices that I don't care for. But has all the proper overlays. So we'll go ahead and bring all that stuff up here for you where everybody's currently at. For everybody, bring up the track map so everybody can see that as well, and then who we're focusing on right now. So Noah Bourgeois gonna go ahead and run that Corvette here again tonight. We've seen Noah at Mexico on a more of a technical track kind of run away, and again showing pretty strong force here, and it's a close battle between him and Craig Jancic. To kind of give a little backstory, obviously Craig's part of the admin team here with the CSRL, and does a good job of helping manage the team there, along with I'm having a blank here. Where's he at? Jim Dutton. So Jim Dutton runs the league, and they always have a good time. So, but yeah, a lot of good racing out here. I expect to see some good pass and some hard fighting. These drivers are pretty curious with each other. The only time it kind of gets a little chaotic there, Jack, is like when they're starting, trying to get down into turn 1, trying to get them tires warmed up. And, we were talking a little bit offline before we started, and we could see the cars, obviously taking them jabs at them tires, warming up. And just after watching some videos, you know, some people used to make fun of people doing this, but in reality, when you come down to it after testing, it does help the car get ready for that first initial lap, because if one of them tires are ice cold, man, these cars just, they don't like the turn. It's just like they're on ice skates.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, putting heat in your tires, heat in your brakes, that's going to be really important. It could be the decision between first and last for some of these drivers. So we'll see how they can manage it.
Right now, I'm getting ready to come out of the final turn here to get on that that front stretch. You can see the pace car is in there, and they're going to getting ready to go green. And once it goes green, we're going to unleash the beast and watch all 34 drivers. Looks like 33 are out there. No, 34. All 34 on the track as they go on and get green. You can see already some drivers stepping out, hoping to get maybe an edge here. I'm going to go back there, Christopher Hamilton way down the inside, and people have to pay attention. There are virtual spotters and the braking that's going to go on here. We'll try to watch everybody come through here. Try to click through real quick. A little bit of a bottleneck there as everybody's slowing down to allow people go by, but nobody off the track. Maybe some bumpers beating and banging, but
yeah, there's a crash here on turn 3. Someone got spun around here. Let's see if I can get a name for you.
I'm blinking a little bit here. What is going on? Do I have something up that shouldn't be up?
That would be Trent Ballock, getting around right there. Looked like he just got tapped and got lost. There's some drivers on turn 1. Turned into a parking lot, looked like, and you know, just lost some bumpers here and there. But other than that, looking pretty smooth. Oops, as I say that.
Yeah, looking pretty smooth, but I'm having some blinking issues here right now, and it's probably because I'm streaming both in both areas. You got the screen up on your own PC, right?
Yep. Yeah, okay. I'm watching it right now. I saw Stephen McLean get through.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. Stop stressing my computer out.
Yep. Yeah, you're all good.
And then we'll go back and we'll check some of those incidents. But out front, it's still Noah Bourgeois with the early lead here over Craig Jancic. Bryce Reiner there in third, and Kyle Cobbler in fourth. We got a lot of cars to kind of debunk here, kind of see what's going on here. I'll go ahead and I'll go back and try to catch some of these. What happened?
As we were saying that, Simon Seguad looked like he lost it on that final corner. That's what we were talking about a little bit. Those cold tires on that final corner, you need a lot of grip to make that work.
Yeah, a lot of yeah, there he is. Well, Stephen McLean, Michael. So yeah, a lot of drivers having some initial issues here. I'm trying to just kind of catch up. I'm trying to not stress my computer out too much. Don't know what the heck was going on. I haven't had that issue in quite some time. So, but anyways, we're out here early on. Things warming up, and Noah Bourgeois out to the lead over Craig Jancic and Bryce Reiner for your top 3 currently. Move things around. Carl, how do you deal with all this stuff? I'll go back with Tyler Tourville, obviously pushing to get around Kyle there early on. It's sitting in the top 5. Tyler's been having some pretty good runs in the Platinum division. Hasn't been able to get that win yet, but is definitely looking to continue to put the pressure on those front runners. Mason Smith right behind him, and we've seen Mason with a tremendous comeback last season at the end. In order to get around enough people to make enough or get far enough in front of Craig Jancic in order to get a win here. Do have somebody coming out of the pits right there. I think that is that might be no, that's not Dilemma. It's not Jay Little's in the pits. Michael Long in the pits.
It looks like Kyle Cobbler, he's lost a position to Tyler Tourville earlier on. Mason Smith was taking a look at him as well, but it looks like Kyle was able to defend it and keep the position on the backstretch.
Yeah, Kyle in the gold division, so obviously he's in front of Herbert Pineda, and who's back there in 8th place. And I guess that's one thing when you have these multi-division races. It's the same car, but multi-division as far as everybody gets put in like skill level places, and obviously some tracks you're better at than others, and that's why you see some of the like maybe gold drivers or silver drivers up in the running with the platinum drivers, is because it could be their favorite track, or they really got it, they're feeling the car here tonight. But yeah, Kyle doing a great job sitting in that top 5 as a gold driver. Herb Pineda back there in 8th, doing a great job as well, running the McLaren. Looking at the cars running here tonight, got a big variety of pretty much everything. Jack, you got Vets, you got the Aston Martin, the Mustang, Lamborghini, Mercedes. The only one car that there's only one of is Trent Blaylock and the Porsche.
Yep,
and
that's what I'm looking at too.
And
no,
I
there's
see
one other.
no Audis out here. Is the Audi like the stepchild, the redheaded stepchild these days? I don't see them very often anymore.
Yeah, you know, the Audi, before it got updated, used to be really, really good. I really enjoyed running that car. They updated it, and it's always had a pretty bad oversteer issue. We think it's with the diff. So just under deceleration, the rear end just kind of does some weird locking issues and turns around on you. And it's just really not that fast. So unfortunately, the Audi is kind of a rarity with a lot of these races.
Last time I visited the Audi, we decided to run the Audi at a 24 hours of Nürburgring because the headlights were just awesome. And we were initially started with the BMW, and we were having a hard time seeing. Then we were in an open practice, and we're like, wow, why is there so much light in front of me? Oh, it's the Audi behind me, like 2 seconds back. It had better visual in front of me than I did with my own headlights in the BMW. It was kind of crazy. So we figured that since it was our first 24 hours of Nürburgring, that we'd go with a car that we could actually see the track in the nighttime.
Yeah, that's a very important vehicle or aspect, I guess, to have for those kind of races, especially at Nürburgring. You know, one of the toughest 24-hour challenges that iRacing has to offer. So having that light is really nice. But you know, just having a car that's stable too. You know, as well, I'm sure you know, Nürburgring is such a diverse track, and there's a lot of things that can really upset a car there. So making sure you have a good car under you too is just as important.
Yeah, Jesse Mosley making a move there for 22nd around Torville there in the Mustang. So getting that McLaren out there. Another car that I love running the McLaren is one of my favorite cars, but it does have a quirk to it. If you're turning and happen to hit the RPMs, the rear end likes to do McLaren things and step out. So really got to pay attention to throttle control of that car in order to be successful. And it's doesn't seem to be like the fastest car anymore, or hasn't been getting the love. Obviously came out with the new Aston Martin. I'll put on screen here that Craig Jancik's driving. That's the new flavor that's come out here for iRacing. But the BMW has always been a pretty good staple and solid car for most. And I think that's another car.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't see it.
Yeah, so
something else to look out for with especially with Noah out front is in Core GT, the top 10 all had front engine cars. So it's just something to kind of think about, when you see all these drivers up here with, the Vets, the Lamborghini up there, even some McLarens. I know they're a little further back, but if they can make their way forward, that would be something interesting. It seems like Indy, at least with the latest version of iRacing, seems to really favor these front engine cars.
It seems to be the flavor of car this pretty much season, and from all the races that I've seen. Even when I'm working, I usually have Twitch up in the background, watching streamers just kind of race, see what kind of cars are running, what tracks are new this week, and get an idea how they're running. You see the lines and get a lot of time, obviously, in the booth analyzing and watching drivers kind of get around here, what lines they drive, and sometimes like, oh, I didn't know I could cut that corner that far. Oh, I didn't know I could go do that. Oh, I should be braking then. There's so many things that you can see, a different perspective than when you're right behind the car, behind the wheel, trying to make that judgment call. So it does help, and it can make you better, at least as far as knowledge goes and what you're supposed to do. Now the execution, that's all on you, being able to modulate them brakes and keep things going. But right now we're 8 minutes in. Noah Bourgeois still out front, but Craig Jancik is not letting that number 5 go here tonight. Following him around, and know that this is not Craig's favorite track by any means. Last season, obviously, in the ending race, losing the championship here at Indy to Mason Smith by a few positions. So, but having a stout run here tonight, no mistakes so far. Obviously, they're not running here for 2 hours like they did for their finale, so not quite a. This is more of a sprint race compared to what they did when they had 2 hours out here. So, but right now it's Noah Bourgeois, Craig Jancic doing a good job, and then about a second half back you have Bryce Reiner and Tyler Torville. Gold driver Kyle back there, and another McLaren, excuse me, a Corvette in P number 5, and then right behind him is Mason Smith in an Aston Martin with Chris Hamilton in a Mercedes. So looking good up front here so far. Then Herbert Pineda back here. See Frank Pisano doing a good job. He's in the Mustang with Ace Motorsports. Jason Phillips back here as well in the 499 car. Another Corvette. So Corvette's showing a strong presence here tonight. I do know these drivers, you know, we might not ever see the Audi because they get to select 2 cars. I don't think they opened it up to all the cars. They used to, maybe they did. I'd have to go back and read the entire rules, and Carl would know too if I said it. But they used to just run 2 cars, so they were able to choose whatever car, just 2. So you had to either choose, like say if you did Mercedes and Ford, you'd have to pick one of those. If you chose another one, a different car, you get penalized. They're trying to keep drivers to keep running the same cars. You know, don't let the name of the league fool you. It's that they you know, it's called CSRL. It's Casual Sim Racing League, but you know they're very competitive and have some real strong talent, especially up front with the battle. You'll see the battles here. We'll even go back farther in the field here with Glenn Lawson, and you can see that he has that Ford Mustang up that back in there of that who's that? Brandon Potts in the McLaren. So making by. So just trying to get around there, and then Jim Dutton right behind him as well, driving the new Aston Martin. We all know Jim does. He drove the Mustang a few times, and he had a few choice words for the good old pony. So putting that in the stall there, and bringing out the new breed there of the Aston Martin here this season. So a good run here so far. Haven't seen really anything kind of going on. It does look like Ethan McCracken went off the track back here. We'll go take a look to see what happened. And probably just a little self spin there with the Aston Martin. Maybe just a little too much on that throttle, exiting the corner, put him in a little spin. Nice easy join back on the track. So no harm, no foul to anybody else but himself. I'm sure he'll learn for next time, hopefully, to get back, maybe not get on that throttle as hard. But back up front here, just take a glance as Noah's starting to stretch that lead out like he has in a lot of these technical tracks, as I really seem to have gotten a good feel for a lot of these tracks, especially the ones that are super technical. He does it really well at so far that I've seen. So, but Craig Jancic still hanging back there. But this is going to close things up, you know, with if Noah is able to win here tonight or finish in front of Craig Jancic, that 3-point lead that Craig has will go back to Noah, and then Noah would be the current point standing leader until maybe Craig beats him the next race. So back and forth, those two are going. It's heating up this season for those drivers, and it does look like you got a battle back here with Chris Hamilton trying to get to the inside there of Kyle Cobbler and trying to make it work, and Kyle just trying to keep some space because right behind Chris Hamilton, Herbert Pineda, the second place car of the gold division in the number 99 Mercedes.
Yep, absolutely. I've been watching this battle develop for a few laps now, and it's been getting spicy. Mason getting on the back of Kyle, eventually getting by, and then having Christopher Hamilton, he seems to be just on the bumper of all these drivers up front. I don't know if he is fuel saving. That's kind of what my gut's telling me. But last time he was racing here, he said that he was going pretty hard out and racing with the rest of these guys, so he might just be keeping it safe, keeping it tidy, and waiting for an opportunity to open up in front of him.
Yeah, Chris is, he's been one of the drivers that's been quick at a lot of tracks, usually up there in the front fighting with Craig Jancic and getting things done, and his, lack of better words, just no luck in the pits, comes in right on the bumpers or right in the front, and then will either lose his position or come back out like a second or two behind, and it's all with that pit stop, whether it's fuel management, underfueling, overfueling. Just had problems late last season, and I'm not sure this season so far. I haven't had a chance to get to watch the end of the race, as CRN has been busy on Wednesday nights with a double feature here, and I have to step out a few minutes early in order to prepare for the other league. But we're making change to that. We're going to be here full time to at least to the end of the race and make sure I know what's going on each and every week. And then the other league when they come back, and that would be that one is Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. So they'll be back, I think, at the beginning of November, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're finalizing the schedule for sure, but we'll get the final word here shortly, I'm sure, in the next few weeks. But we're out here kind of watching all these drivers have fun here tonight. I just want to give a shout out to Carl's son, Colton. His team is doing, I guess, did pretty well in baseball and was able to play some games here tonight. So I wish him and his team all the best of luck, as the little guy has come on here a few times and gave the word for the drivers to start their engines, and that's kind of a neat thing to do, and I know he likes to do it. So, but yeah, that's where Carl and Colton are here tonight, playing some baseball, having some fun. Kids being kids.
That's what it's all about.
Battles are still brewing here. We are 16 minutes in. Typically, these drivers will at least get to the halfway mark before they decide to come in. And it's kind of sometimes hard, or maybe sometimes you want to stay out there a little longer, Jack. Obviously, when you're lighter on fuel in these road cars, that's when you get your best laps. So coming in early so you don't have to come in later, maybe it would put you in a better spot, to run better laps, because you don't have to battle with the person in front of you and you're just back kind of by yourself. But you can tell by the track map, the Skittles are kind of all spread out here, starting to get spread out here just after 16 minutes. So,
Yeah,
it might not matter too much.
Well, it's interesting with pit stops. It's one of those things where if you get it right, then you can really win out. At pit stop, everything's a little bit slower paced. So if you make a mistake on entry or exit, or, even if you want to take an extra tire, that's going to add seconds on top of your pit stop time, which will affect you in the race when you're working for tenths. So, you really want to make sure you get your pit stop absolutely perfect. Usually I'd say going long will help you definitely in the long run, because then you get a shorter stop getting fuel. That'll give you a little bit of advantage, and as well as just pace. Like you said, lighter fuel, you'll be able to go a little bit faster. So even though you're saving fuel and not going full attack, your car is still going to be lighter, and you're still going to have some performance in the car compared to some of the other drivers.
Yeah, what is I guess to tell the other drivers out there, well, for me, the one thing about being low on fuel is I know the transition, like when we're doing endurance races, and you come out of the pits, obviously you got to deal with the cold tires for the first lap and a half. And then, for me at least, usually the car starts changing its feeling or the way it acts to corners when it hits about a quarter tank of fuel, and it kind of makes you change your driving up just a little bit. I was just wondering if you had those same things out there where you have to make adjustments as the race goes on for a tank.
Yeah, absolutely. Your tank going down, that's going to definitely affect the way the car feels. You might need, depending on the car, obviously, bar changes for your ARB would definitely be helpful. Changing your brake bias, you almost want to do that every lap. Just make these micro adjustments, but you'll definitely notice a trend. The more into your fuel that you go, the more that you need the balance shifted one way or another to compensate for that weight loss.
Yeah, back here with Belu following around JP, or I don't want to say JP Phillips, it's Jason Phillips, because we have a JP Phillips oval on the oval side on Tuesday nights. But you've seen Jason go ahead and tag the wall there ever so slightly, slowing him up just a little bit. But Dave Tilford's still hanging there, working on trying to get in the top 10 here. Wow, I do not know what's going on here. Sorry about the
I'm supposed to be a rookie here tonight.
Yeah, that's not being a rookie. I'm just I'm not happy what's going on with my PC, and I don't know why, because I usually don't have these issues. So I'm checking those out now. I don't know if I got something open that's not supposed to be open. Let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's turn off OneDrive. Pause.
Yep, that always helps.
Just sometimes, like, I have a decent PC and I just don't know what's going on here tonight. I do not know why it's jumping. What's this here? My CPU is acting up. Maxed out. Oh, it's time for an upgrade, Jack. That's all I could say. I think
upgrades, people upgrades. Those are always good.
I think after all the updates and stuff that have come out with iRacing, making everything nice, it just eventually things start catching up, you know. And had my PC for about 5 years, so you know I've a little upgrade here, a little upgrade there to kind of prolong its longevity, but I think it's about time. I'm gonna have to break down. And speaking of that, if you're looking for a new PC, CSRL has some great sponsors. Obviously, they got 40 Racewear, and they also have Martin PC. Excuse me, I want to say Maroon. Martin PC as well. So you can look those two places up for your needs for PCs or even sim racing gear with that 40 Racewear. They have boots and gloves and all kinds of fun stuff over there. Jim Herrick can't be here tonight, runs that operation. Was up at the Sim Expo over there, and I know a lot of these drivers got a chance to actually meet face to face and have a good time up there as well. So, but right now we're here at the track racing, and he's not here. So, wish he was. I mean, he might be here next week. He might not, as he's on the road. But up front right now, Noah Bourgeois with Tyler Torville. In second, Bryce Reiner there in third. Your top gold driver is Kyle Cobbler, and your top silver driver is William Burrell. This is bugging me. Stand by,
looking
folks.
like these drivers are getting a little bit spaced out here right now. Looks like Cesar Colin Torres. Pretty much your closest battle on track right now, getting all bunched up with David Tilford and Alan Bialu. Sorry if I'm butchering your name.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah, it looks like a nice little group right here of drivers making the way around. I think we should be seeing our first pit stops here a little bit. Do you know if these guys have a fuel cap for...
There's no fuel cap, but they start with 40%. So they have to come out here and do their thing. So I'm trying to see what's... I know what it is. I'm probably going to close
so I'm thinking we'll see some big pit stops here in a little bit. Not seeing too much more action here on track. Definitely Noah Bourgeois holding a very nice lead, about a 5-second lead to P2 Tyler Torville. Currently, I wonder if there's some pit stops being played around here at the moment. Third place, Bryce Rayner, still making his way around. He's about half a second away from Tyler, so a nice easy gap that can be made up definitely in the pits if everything goes right.
Yeah, a couple pit stops happening here right now as we got Javi Sierra down in the pits right now, down and away. So pit stops should be happening here shortly. As I think I think it's Carl always complains to me, and he says he has issues with his SDK overlay, and I just shut it off, and guess what? It all went away. And so, like, maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just the HUD for the. Maybe it's just, I don't know. It's hungry for power or something. I don't know. I don't for the road courses. I don't have any issues with the setups that I have. So we're gonna see if we can make some adjustments. Maybe clean that up and get something that does not tax the PCs as much. But yeah, it definitely went away as soon as I shut off. So I'm gonna have to say that's what it is. So good. I'll just have to read the keep an eye on my OBS and watch the board, the SDK board. It's a little bit harder, but to see the information right in front of you. But we gotta make things work. Overcome. So when you have situations like some of these drivers have had in the beginning, you just keep on going and trucking until you figure out what it is. I want to give a huge shout out there to everybody that is watching. Barry as always, and Scruffy out there. There's actually quite a few people out here watching, like 14 viewers here. So if you haven't already and you like what you see here at CRN, we're here pretty much Sunday to Thursday. There's something going on, whether it's some oval racing or some GT racing. But almost every night there's something going on. There's a race on Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. There used to be double headers on Wednesday, but our second league has they just finished up their season, and they'll be back. And then Thursday night we have VVR and the Core GT series that's usually broadcasted here on CRN as well. So just hit that, smash that thumb, and hit the bell and you'll even get on a little alert when we go live. You don't even have to wait for your favorite driver to maybe send you the link that we usually post in the Discord. So you'll get that little notification, be able to come on over here, and you'll either find myself and Carl or maybe Jack as well. He, like I said, broadcasts as well. Him or Jack. Who else is over there? John Obinger, and who usually broadcasts with you, Jack? That's Alan, right? Alan.
Yeah, Alan's on a little bit of a retirement plan right now, so he's doing his own little thing for the time being. So we'll see if I can drag him back into the booth, but should be me and John for the time being anyway. But if I can steal one of you guys too, that'd be a lot of fun. I know being up in the booth and just messing with you guys is a lot of fun, and definitely some good conversations to go around.
Yeah, it's definitely good to mix things up every now and then. That you've seen Todd Torville in the pits here as he's coming out. Has a little bit of front damage on that Mustang. Not quite sure what happened, but Bryce Reiner, one of your front runners, coming in here at 27 minutes. So we're past the halfway mark now, Jack, and obviously the pit stops need to happen. They need to come in and finish these up. If I go ahead, I can change this back.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Bryce here, see if he's gonna take some tires or if he's just gonna do fuel. See what their strategy is. It looks like he's just going for fuel. 45-minute race, that makes sense.
Yeah, most of the times if drivers end up taking tires, it might be one or two. Like either, it's either a front, left or right, or rear, left or right, or rights or lefts. I've always had bad combinations if I were to do like just rears or just fronts. It seems like the car was kind of unruly and wanted to do weird things here. But Tyler Torville coming in the pits here, and along with Chris Hamilton as well. So those two drivers in the pits here to get their final fuel for the remainder of this race. That still leaves Noah Bourgeois out there. He's got a nice 8-second lead over Mason Smith, and I'm trying to find out where Craig Jancic is. I think it's just because he came into the pits. I need to pull up the tower. Where do you put everything? Pit lap here. Pit lap. There we go. So you can see who the drivers are that actually pit. Let me look here. Craig Jancic was in on lap 14. So and we are on lap 21. So he was in a few laps ago, so came in early to kind of get it out of the way. Maybe having an issue here, but definitely back out on the track again. Of all tracks, I typically you're watching Craig because he's like just out front. He's battling with the leaders. He's usually the leader. Oh, what's going on pit road? There's some bunch of people all kind of bundle up there. There they come. They're coming off the pits. And that's Noah Bourgeois right there coming out of the pits right behind Dave Tilford and the 4 of Frank Pisano. So maybe getting held up.
Noah just got into the pits. I saw in practice earlier today that someone is running a same paint scheme as Noah. So trying to throw off a little bit.
Okay. Yep. Then there he goes. The 3 on it. Who was that then? Oh, let's go back with Dave Tilford. Dave Tilford 509. So that was Belu. I thought it was Noah. I apologize. The 509 looks just like Noah Bourgeois. I thought he thought Noah was getting held up there in the pits as these drivers here. I mean, they're running like, so close together. Dave Tilford looking to get by the 509 here in this time around.
Ooh, man.
Dave Tilford back, not the last of the platinum drivers, as that would be Alex Zart. I don't think he took the field, but he's trying to get through so he can maybe get a chance to catch up to some of his competition or division. But the battle here between Frank Pisano's back here too. So Frank Pisano and Dave Tilford as they're side by side, right behind.
Looks like Frank lost a couple positions right there.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can make something work here going into turn 1. Nope, he's going to let on off.
Yeah, good move there by Dave being able to kind of get that done. And obviously Frank letting up to kind of allow that to happen. And that's what I like by here. And even here you can see the Cesar Colon-Torres going to the inside of Frank Pisano. And just Frank gave him room. I mean, they battled it out there, and then now Cesar's going to go to the outside, take the inside line going down to this next turn, and able to make that pass on Frank Pisano here for Pete, number 10. So your top running gold division driver right now is going to be Cesar Colon-Torres, and second place for the gold is going to be Christian Ortiz Torres. So final 1-2 for the Torres. Your current leader for platinum. Somebody spun out. That's Bryce Reiner right out of that last turn. So we'll take a quick look at that, see what happened back here.
Ooh, man. Yeah, it looks like he got hit by Christopher Hamilton.
A small nudge in that corner. And, we talked a little bit about early on how you could lose it coming on the final stretch here, but sends that Ford kind of go out there. Finds himself.
Looks like Mason Smith got caught up in that too.
Yo, wow.
Yeah, Mason Smith going to lose a lot of positions right there. That's going to allow Craig Jenseg to jump back up into 4th position.
Yeah, big hits by a few drivers there. It was, I think the other one was who was that in the Lamborghini? That was
it looks like Mason Smith actually had a tow back to the pits.
Oh wow, that much damage. Yeah, I don't know if that was Steve. No, not Steve McLean. So the other Lamborghini is Tyler Torville. So Tyler Torville getting wrapped up in this as well. So
yep, absolutely.
Tough break for a few of the front runners here. It's a little bit of a touch and go. Really, it mixes things up. We'll go back live here to what's going on the track. But Noah Bourgeois out front over 10 seconds over Christopher Hamilton, and Craig Jancic behind Chris by 6 seconds. So your top 3 right now currently spread out. And then Jason Phillips in 4th now. Tyler Torville heads down to the pits.
He's in the pit lane.
Yeah, he's going to have to take some damage, but I'm sure he's got that fast repair as he was having a pretty clean race, and he was right there up in the top 5 Ford cars, but things happen. You know, what do you do and how you manage a bad race for the season. But quick repair, in and out, away he goes. Looks like he might come back out in 14th or 15th, have time, and he has a little bit of time to make some laps up. We're at 34 minutes now, so we've got about 10 minutes remaining. Noah's out to the lead, and like Chris Hamilton and Craig Jancic, as we said. Battles, closest battle on the field, and of course with our fearless leader Jim Dutton. Jim always seems to be in a battle every single race, usually right around this area, Jack, right around that 10 to 15 area, battling out with one of the league mates, just kind of having some great racing. And if you, when we watch, as we sit here and running around with Jim a few laps, you're just going to see if they get alongside each other, how courteous they are of each other, giving each other room and like racing in corners and not sending it, not coming in and, they might pinch you down there, but they're not going to, they give each other room. The other guy's not going to come down and like hit you. And the guy on the inside is not going to go to like drift out and hit the other guy. There's just, the racing's always been super clean here. And that's why the drivers keep coming back. And they keep that the same thing going, and and sometimes they do admin the race afterwards, and they go through and they hand out penalties when needed. So they keep things tidy over here and take care of them as they happen, but they try their best to give each other room on the track so they can enjoy their time out here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always a very good sign of a good league to be in. You can race this close with your competitors and not have to worry about, any incidents happening or get tangled up with a driver that's kind of been known to be a little looser on track.
As I just say that, I see Simon getting a little bit of a bumper there, but you just see how the 63 just stopped, like allowing, even though he made the mistake. And he's probably go, like it was my fault. And you see the exchange there, basically a handshake on track, allowing the drivers to do what needs to get done. So that's just the common courtesy, and that's how these drivers are around here. See something happen with Zane Bierman. We've seen Zane out there in multiple leagues now, but he's been here with CSRL for a few races now and been driving the Mustang pretty much every week, and still learning a little bit, but again, with that Ford Mustang getting on that throttle a little bit too much, brings it around. Oh, and I think that was Craig Jancic that just skirted by there on that one, if I'm not mistaken. Where's he at? Where is okay. There he is. I think
watching a little bit of this live, Simon Sagan is getting really up in close personal with Christian Ortiz. He's giving him the room to race around, but he's on his bumper. He's making sure that he is known, and any little mistake, and he is right there.
Yeah, Jim Dutton and Javier Sierra going toe to toe here currently, and then you got Simon Sugan with Christian Ortiz battling out here as well. But this is that incident that we've seen, and we know the 63, accidentally got into the 11 and allowed that transaction pretty much to happen on the track, and be like, all right, let's get back on the track, let's go back racing. Nobody's car was really damaged too bad. Obviously losing some time to maybe pick up any further progression here tonight. This is their closest competitor is Frank Pisano up there, currently sitting 8th, as we see Frank up there just a little bit farther earlier, but right now it is Noah Bourgeois. He's still in the lead. Chris Hamilton is in P number 2 now. Jason Phillips in P number 3, and Craig Jancic is now currently sitting in P number 4, and he just missed that last incident with Zane Bierman coming out on the track and kind of bouncing off the wall.
Yeah, top break. Looks like Yavi Sierra, and is that Bill Burrell right in front of him?
Yep.
Nope.
There, he's behind him.
I was looking at Jim Dutton and Yavi Sierra. My bad. Getting nice and close right there. But yeah, that battle's still.
And we're gonna see this one to the end. But right behind Have as Jim Dutton did get around Javi Sierra, but Jesse Mosley quietly sneaking back in there in the 08 in P number 14 right now. Biggest mover of the race right now is the number 13 of William Burrell.
All right.
Yeah, he's up 13 spots here tonight. Oh no! I didn't do it. I didn't mean it. Broadcaster's curse. Jesse Mosley going around there, tagging the wall a little bit. That's going to slow him up just a little bit. Hopefully not too much damage. As I don't see, do I see a meatball? I don't see no, I see a black, no, that's a black flag for Zane Beer. See, where's our battle at? I think it's with Dave Tilford. Yeah, Dave Tilford leading the way here in P number 5. Looking for a top 5 here tonight with Cesar Colon Torres behind him and Frank Pisano. I'm sure Dave wants Cesar Colon Torres to hang in there and get a good finish in front of Frank Pisano. But Frank Pisano looking to the inside there, down that right hand or left hand turn. It looks like he should have it there, if I'm not mistaken. He does. He gets the position over Bailu. So a few drivers having some issues here tonight. Some are maybe your favorites. Bryce Reiner back in 26th. Ethan McCracken in 27th. Jay Little back in 28th. Mason Smith all the way back in 30th. Ian Wilson in 31st. Michael Ray Galan and Herbert Pineda all towards the back. So this is definitely going to shake points up as we're only on race number 4, Jack.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, at least it's race number 4, like you said, and these drivers able to make up some time. I was looking at Herbert Pineda a little bit earlier, and it looked like he just lost connection. It looks like his Wi-Fi just gave out or something. So that's definitely the worst way to leave a race, is no fault of your own and just losing it. Definitely the hardest thing as a driver, but best thing you can do is just move on and keep it going.
Yeah, it's you don't want to. It stinks. It's like getting out there. You have a fast race car and your engine blows. I mean, what are you gonna do? Nothing. You go back to the drawing board and see if you can get it fixed for the next race. And the internet's so wishy-washy in some places, and everybody does their best to get out here and try to enjoy this niche of a hobby that we have, and kind of go out there and have some fun at least once a week or so. And a lot of those drivers are able to do that, but it really does suck when the internet kind of takes over and the gremlins are doing their thing. But the 97 of Kyle Cobbler was up towards the front early on, finds himself back in 15th spot, but looking to maybe get into 14th as he's tracking down Javi Sierra there in 14th. And a few other cars in sight. We are down to the last 3 minutes, so probably another 2 to 3 laps here remaining, probably 2.5, as Noah Bourgeois is out there right now. He has a few lap cars in front of him, so that's always challenging, but he's got a 10-second lead over Chris Hamilton, so like no super rush. There's no reason or being that if you find yourself where maybe a slower driver is kind of holding you up, not to just kind of make sure that you don't put that lap car in a position to take you out here. And here they are in the final turns here, getting ready to come out on the front stretch here, right there where the pit lane's at. And you can see there's Noah going by, and Barney is not waving the white flag, so still got we got 2 minutes. So yeah, we'll get I don't think maybe we'll get one next time by. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not quite sure how it's always called. I just keep my eye on the time when I'm in the car, and hopefully I got enough fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to see white flag here by the end of this lap. Lap is a little less than a minute and a half, and I think Barney has a thing for maybe throwing the flag a little early. That's his thing, whatever. But as a driver, some of these guys would probably be liking to see that white flag just to get everything over with. Some people may want that extra lap so they can make the pass that they're wanting to make.
Oh, what a move there by Frank Pisano, cutting in on Dave Tilford, making that dive move last minute here. Is towards the end of the race, and it's kind of one of those times like if I don't make this attempt now, I'm not going to ever get the shot here, and it might be the last lap. I was able to kind of get that done. I don't think Dave was expecting it. Ended up turning into him just a little bit, but they kept it straight, and they're still going. Maybe lost a little bit of time, but right behind Dave Tilford, we still have you know, some other drivers back there. Cesar Colon Torres, your top running gold driver, so obviously wouldn't mind getting a few more positions just to finish farther up and grab some more points, but in a good spot now for the gold division, as Christian Ortiz Torres has Bailey in between him and Christian. So biggest mover of the race is still William Burrell there in the number 21, up 13 spots. So Bill having a great race here at Indy in the McLaren. Your best finishing of McLaren here so far. Go back to Noah. I believe we're on the last lap here.
I'm not seeing a white flag on my screen. I could be completely wrong.
Let me go see if I can go to this.
Oh no, I see Barney waving the white flag right now.
Okay, so white flag is out. So this is the last lap here, and Noah clearly on another mission here to win by a good 10 seconds tonight over Christopher Hamilton, and then Jason Phillips currently sitting in third. So Craig Jancic falling out of the podium positions here tonight, and it is truly kind of rare. I think he won last week, so coming off a win, and then to kind of not be able to get on the podium, little more inconsistent, or just like I said, this was last season. It was for the finale. It just was not his favorite track. But Noah coming down, taking the win here, finishing it up here, and so that will be your winner here tonight overall. And for the rookies, Chris Hamilton is going to come in P number 2, and then Jason Phillips flashing his lights there as Barney gives him the checker flags. Craig Jancic coming across as well. Frank Pisano will finish in 5th, it looks like, as he did get around Dave Tilford and Cesar Colon Torres to finish up the spot. So a good run there for Frank tonight. 3rd in the Platinum, 5th overall. Dave Tilford with a nice run there. Towards the end, finishing in 4th in the Platinum and 6th overall. Cesar Colon Torres. Oops, that's not Cesar. That's Cesar. And then Bailu in 8th. Christian Ortiz in 9th. William Burrell will be your highest finisher in the silver. So congratulations to Bill in 10th. So finishing in the top 10 for Bill, that's great. And you can see we'll go, once everybody finishes up, we'll go down and give a rundown of where your favorite driver's at. And if I'm not mistaken, now I got to do all this Discord stuff that Carl usually does. I'm pretty bad with it. Not bad with Discord, just Carl pays attention to it. Oh, let's see here. Where's he put that stuff? I hope they're not waiting for me to say who it is. Let's see where he's at. He does, looks like there's 4 people. So tonight, I believe we get Noah, Chris Hamilton, Jason Phillips, and William Burrell, I believe. Let's see if they come down into the waiting room. Yep, there's Bailu. So Bailu finished. We'll go ahead and bring up those stats real quick. I can see where people finished. Race. Joe. Oops. Yeah. Empty. Results. There we go. So your winner is going to be Noah Bourgeois, Christopher Hamilton, and Jason Phillips. Then Craig Jancic, Frank Persano, Dave Tilford, Cesar Colon Torres, Bailu, Christian Torres, William Burrell for your top 10. And then we'll go back to your next page here. Tyler Torville, Simon will be there in 12th. Kyle Cobbler in 13th. Javi Sierra back in 14th. Glenn Lazon in 15th. Jesse Mosley in 16th. Jim Dutton in 17th. Todd Torville in 18th. 19th, John Espada. Brandon Potts in 20th. And then 21st, Braxton Jarrett, Paul Bailey, Stephen McLean, Trent Blaylock, Bryce Reiner, Ethan McCracken, Reina Dilemma, Jay Little, Zane Bierman, Mason Smith finishing all the way back in 30th. Ian Wilson, Michael Ray Galan, and Herbert Pineda, and Alex Zart for your 34 car field. I am waiting for the drivers to kind of come down in here. It does look like if we have a few down here. I need to see Noah Bourgeois. Yep, need him. Not sure why Bailu's back there. I'm trying to go by where they finished. Bailu was in 8th. I need, let's see if I can get Jason Phillips. Where's he at? Jason. Probably not here anywhere. Don't see him.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Jason. So let's see, do we have Christopher Hamilton? Yeah, we have Christopher Hamilton. So we'll go ahead and pull Christopher Hamilton in here. Move to broadcast live, and we're gonna bring in the 64 Christopher Hamilton, finishing in 2nd place here tonight. Jack, take it away.
All right, Chris, it's Jimmy and Jack in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Think so?
Yep, we got you there. Well, congratulations on your race tonight. Want to walk us through it? Tell us how it went.
Hello?
Can you hear us, Chris?
I hear you. I don't know where Jack went.
Oh, Jack's here.
Jimmy, why don't you take it?
Yeah, we'll go ahead. Obviously, tonight, back at Indy after the finale last year, and you got yourself a good finish here tonight. Just give us a real rundown on how everything was out here tonight for that 45 minutes.
First thing, since I have the mic, a huge apology to Bryce Reiner. We just talked it out. That's what we were doing, and I felt terrible. Jack's seen me kill 2 Mustangs at this track now. You're welcome. But I had a horrible qualifying, and qualifying seems to be super important now because there's not just 1 or 2 guys you got to worry about. There's 6 or 7. So I was just trying to push forward, maybe a little bit of fuel saving here and there, but really not really. It was just full push from beginning to end.
A full push from the beginning to end, and having some a little bit of issues for some of the other drivers, allowing you to kind of get that Mercedes up there tonight. But Noah, obviously the dominant car here tonight, out in front by quite a substantial lead over yourself. But I think overall, Chris, I think you had a pretty good run. So we wanted to say congratulations and give you some time for any shouts on that number 64 here tonight.
A huge shout out to Ryan McCauley, who painted this fun Genshin Impact Merc. Car choice is very important this season because of how dominant one car could be over another, and that's the kind of, not necessarily game, because there was 3 different cars in the top 5 at least, so clearly there's something different. But that was shout out to all those guys here at CSRL. They put on a great league. I still feel bad killing Bryce, I really do. And thanks you guys for the broadcast. Hope you guys had a good time.
Yeah, definitely mistakes are they happen, so we'll let you go again. Celebrate getting your good finish here tonight, and we'll see you next week.
All right, here's to it, boys.
And that's the Christopher Hamilton and the number 64 finishing in 2nd overall here tonight. And then we'll go ahead and we'll talk to the winner here tonight as well. And the winner here tonight in the number 5 car, Noah. And this is Jimmy and Jack up in the booth tonight. Do you copy?
I gotcha.
Hey, I mean, just another dominating performance there by the 5. It seems like you had that vet on some rails up here tonight. I don't know if you got some sort of method to your madness, but what a great race here for yourself. Give us a little rundown on how everything was out there for that 5.
Well, honestly, Craig and I had a crazy battle the first couple laps. He was knocking my rear bumper off, metaphorically speaking. So I just tried to keep my wits about me for the first few laps, but I basically just tried to keep my tires fairly happy. I wasn't trying to slide them around or anything like that. And I was looking at the starting grid compared to the finishing order, and it looks like it was a mistake-heavy race today. So just had to put in a solid drive and not make any mistakes, any self-inflicting errors, and just bring it home.
Yeah, there's definitely a few errors out there. You know, some individual towards the end, a few of the leaders got involved with a lap car and whatnot. So I'm sure once you guys review that, you'll see that mistake, and it kind of mixed the order up just a little bit. A lot more green at the top than there is either like no gains or losses. But you did it again, man. You got yourself another win here on the season, and with the Craig Jancic finishing back there in 4th, not on the podium here tonight, is probably going to throw the lead back your way. So it's going to be a tough battle, I think, for the rest of the season, as we've seen so far. So again, we want to say congratulations here in the booth, but furthermore, we want to give you a little bit of time for any shouts you might have at number 5.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Shout out to everyone at CSRL and Core for putting this on, and you guys broadcasting in the booth to put on some exciting show for everyone out there watching. Shout out to my boys at FMR Motorsports. It doesn't show in the results, but my boy Kyle was having a hell of a run in gold division, but he ran out of fuel coming into the pits and screwed himself out of a gold win. So shout out to him, unfortunately, for his case, but shout out to my buddy Al, too, winning silver. His first ever silver win, so I'm sure he's going to be super pumped to talk to you guys. And shout out to my old man for tuning in every week. I'm sure he's watching out there, and hopefully I can get him in his own sim at some point to join us out here.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to see people finally get the good finishes that they deserve, and we've seen your partner out there doing as well as well. I kind of wonder where he went. I was like, I thought I seen him up towards the top myself. So it's a tough break that he ran out of fuel, but maybe a judgment call from next that he won't make that mistake next time. So again, congratulations to the 5 here, and I always appreciate the shout outs, and we'll let you get going and go celebrate with your friends and family.
Awesome. Thanks. Have a good night, guys.
Yes, sir. And that was your winner here tonight. Overall, Noah Bourgeois getting things done again, keeping the battle tight between him and Craig Jancic in the Platinum Division. Next, we'll go ahead and bring in, I think in the Gold Division, I think it's
Caesar Colin Torres.
Yeah, I think I think he was silver, right? Or second.
Bailu, at least on SDK it says he's a rookie. On SDK Gold is Caesar Colin Torres.
Yeah, we'll just bring Bailu up here. Bailu, this is Jimmy and Jack up in the booth. Just want to say congratulations on your good finish here. Do you copy us up here?
I do, yeah. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. I just kind of filling in for Carl. I'm using Carl's overlays, so if we mistaken, what division are you, or what class are you guys? What are you running with? The gold, the silver?
Silver right now, yeah.
Okay, there we go. So you would be the overall winner of the silver here tonight. So I just wanted to make sure. I seen you down there, and I know you were down there for a reason.
One of those.
I was like, we gotta figure this out. So that's I'll just bring them up here. And it's the one way to find out. Just ask, right? So, but hey, congrats on the win, man. It was good to see you up there running. Another Corvette, just kind of being pretty dominant car here tonight overall amongst the field. But give us a little rundown on how your race was.
It was pretty good up until the last quarter spin there, but it was a good race overall. Had a nice little battle into pit road with Caesar. Shout out to him there. That was some clean, hard racing there in the pit road, so it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's always good to have great battles out there, and continue to have that week in and week out, and before you know it, you'll move out of that silver division up there with the gold. You keep having finishes like this, I mean, you're almost in the platinum territory. So we just want to notice you and let you know that we noticed what was going out on the track, and just kind of say congratulations, man, and give you some times for any shouts they might have in that 509.
Appreciate it. Shout out to the wife. Shout out to the boys FMR. Get me going faster on this track. And shout out to you guys, CSRL, you guys, the announcers, for making this all happen. And yeah, thank you.
Well, I appreciate the shout outs. And again, congratulations on the great finish. We'll go ahead and let you celebrate with your friends and family.
Right on, man. Appreciate it, guys.
Yep. And that's the 509 of Bailou running the Corvette here tonight. And then we'll go ahead and we'll bring in the winner of the gold division, which would be the gold division winner leader. As I pull him in mid-conversation, I'm good at doing that. Caesar, it's Jimmy and Jack up in the booth. You copy.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Hey, very interesting race. Obviously, some mistakes were made by others, but not yourself here tonight. Able to take that #1 spot for the gold division here tonight. So I wanted to say congratulations. Give us a little rundown on how everything was out there for you tonight, and now you kind of looked at this track as a whole, as you were here just not long ago for a 2-hour finale.
Yeah, this felt completely different than that finale just because the temps were so hot. But apart from that, the whole entire race was a struggle, but a great entire 45-minute battle. It felt like between me, Elaine, and David Tilford. I felt like we just stayed locked in within like a second and a half, for I think 38 minutes of this race. And
it was a long time.
It was a great time even battling through into the pits, going 2 wide in and 3 wide out. So that was cool.
Yeah, I said it was Elaine down there with, and I thought it was Noah. I'm like, no, the leader's getting mixed up with the lap cars. What's going on? And Jack's like, oh, there's another car out there with the same paint job. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Maybe I should have said something earlier.
So there's a little mix up on my point, because I take notice of the cars. Usually everybody's got their own paint schemes, or like Ace Motorsports, they're usually running in different cars for the majority of the part. But they're the same color scheme. But no, it was fun to watch you all out there tonight and to kind of see how everybody was kind of tackling this thing. So I want to say congratulations on the win here. Hopefully that helps in your points race for the season for sure, and give you some time for any shouts that you might have in that 007, man.
Just want to shout out my friends, family, and you guys. Thank you all every week. I always say it. You guys honestly host one of the best broadcasts, and the team and everyone that puts this on together for us to race is freaking awesome too. So everyone that puts this together and puts this on, this is awesome. Love you all. Thank you for everything, and yeah. Good race this week.
Yeah, we appreciate the shout-outs. And maybe the broadcast might start off rocky, as I took over Carl's overlays, and they're just, I swear they're opposite of what mine are that I usually use. So I'm all over the place trying to find everything. So everything's a little stuttering a little bit, but hey, we work through it just like the racers do on the track when things happen. So, but again, congratulations on that great finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a good one too.
Yes, sir. Well, we saved the best for last, Jack. The number 21 of Bill Burrell. He's in here for 2 reasons. One, because you finished in second place for the the second place in silver. But you're also the biggest mover of the race.
All right. Yeah, so if I ever win this thing, I promise you it's not the sandbagger, because I'm not that good. But no, man, it was a good race. I didn't know I was getting this until after the race. Craig came on and said I had 14 spaces, but I was just trying for the silver win. And honestly, I didn't see Elaine or Al, I guess he's called. I knew he was in front of me, but I guess I didn't realize he was in the silver division until
me neither.
When I looked at the split.
Carl left me with that he's in the rookie division, so I was like, oh. And I seen Elaine down there. I'm like, why is he there? So that's why I pulled him in there earlier. But yeah, no, a great run.
It was good. Man, I did this race last week with Core and just made a dumb rookie mistake passing a guy and watching him go by. And so, but I'm fairly good at this track. I feel comfortable at it, and about halfway through the race, I realized I was keeping up with some guys in front of me, and I think I was running maybe 13, 14, something like that. And, I'm staying with the guys, and I'm like, man, this is going to be all right. And then I think maybe some people started having fuel problems or, whatever, a couple off tracks, I don't know. But, I moved up, 10th, 11th, 10th, and, man, I was like, maybe I won the silver thing, and nope. Second, but I'll take that.
I mean, a top 10 over with the competition that you have out there, Bill, is it's always stiff out there, and obviously some drivers having some issues. There was some mix up between a lap car and some of the front runners. It might have helped you out a little bit, but hey, racing's racing, things happen, but you were able to kind of get through that, and we see out here each and every week, whether it's here at CSRL, I've seen you over at Core as well a couple times. So it's always good to see you out there and supporting the league and everything you do as well. So we always want to give you some time up here when you get the chance to get up here to give any special thanks off that number 21.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I want to thank Jim Dunton. This league's great. They let me be an admin, a couple seasons ago, and I try to help out a little when I can. But him and Craig and Renan and, Dave Tilford, they're all great guys, and they're fun to work with. I also want to thank my mom for doing the sponsorship and, getting this award, and I'm pretty happy to win it. It's pretty cool. I try, but Renan usually locks it up with the sandbagger side of it. But
not tonight, he didn't.
Not tonight. I'll take it when I can, and always. I got a lot of family and friends. My mom, she watches religiously. She's every night she watches this stuff, and I want to thank her for watching. Her friend Sandy, my friend Sandy, she watches all the time from Missouri, and a handful of other people out there that do. And, I appreciate Core for, doing the podcasting. You guys do a great job, and, I appreciate the support you give me as well. So.
Well, we always appreciate the shouts and the kind words, Bill. Like I said, it's all about recognizing the drivers when they get the opportunity to do a pretty good job out here, and finishing in the top 10, being the biggest mover of the race is a big feat here amongst your peers. So again, congratulations, man, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. And that's William Burrell finishing in 10th overall and finishing second in the silver division. So great race here tonight, Jack, as these drivers had to tackle Indy. Obviously, we talked about it a little bit, how challenging some of the corners can be, and we caught some of those incidents on the cameras as drivers having troubles coming out of that last turn, spinning the car, and just kind of getting mixed up. And it's a pretty good run, I think, here overall tonight. Do you have anything to share with anybody else?
No, I think that was a great showing tonight. Some issues here and there, kind of where we expected to see them. But honestly, I'm pretty impressed with the drivers here tonight. Saw some familiar faces, saw a lot of new ones. But yeah, it was great. I appreciate you letting me tag on again, and hopefully I can fill in again at some point.
Yeah, we definitely always. You're always welcome in the booth. If you're free when we're up here, just knock on the door, and we'll let you come in. Even if you want some more experience calling them ovals. I know you guys stood in for me and Carl a couple times. So kind of unfamiliar territory, but definitely can be just as much fun. But thanks for joining me up here. Congratulations to all the drivers out there. Big shout out to all the support that the sponsors give: 40 Race War, Martin PC, Simcraft, and all the others. If I missed one, I apologize. So just if you need any of that equipment, look up these sponsors that support the CSRL here, and hook yourself up for some good equipment. So, but I think until next time, Jack, we'll be heading out, and we'll see everybody next Wednesday, same time, but not the same place. So I guess we'll see them on the track.
Yep, see you guys.